Hi, it's Karen here, back with Karen's Codes, and I just thought before I get the actual functionality of the score panel working, I'm just going to go ahead and add that back in. I had called it Score capital N button originally, and then I had deleted it because it wasn't working and I got frustrated. But we're going to put it back. And then if I get the logic working later, great. And I should be able to eventually figure it out. But anyway, so in order to add the score panel, score pane to the game here and have it actually display, we're going to say score pane equals new score panel. And it's going to give me red squiggly lines until I actually add that class. It's a separate class. And so don't worry about all the red squiggles because it'll shortly be resolved. So score pane, comma, and for the score pane, we're going to put a new grid panel. Oh, no. I already did that, huh? We're going to do border layout. And I talked about how we want the grid pane in the center, and then we want the score panel on the right-hand side, which would be east. So that's what we're going to do to get it to display in the east. Now, in order to get it to display all, we've got to add it. So let's go to create class score panel and finish. And Java auto-generated some code for us. But we have to extend JPanel in order for it to display the way we want it to. And then we need to import JPanel. Wonderful. Now that we have that, we're going to do a little copy paste to make our lives easier. We're going to go to the, let's do the game frame. What the heck? No, let's do the game panel. Yeah. Do we want the game? Yeah, we'll do the game panel. Oh, that's where we started. We're going to copy our grid panel code so that we don't have to type it again. So coming back down to the constructor for grid panel, we're just going to copy everything except add buttons and go into score panel and paste. Control V. Perfect. Now we don't want a grid that has 4 rows. Well, actually we do. Never mind. We do. We want 4 rows. And white is actually really good for color. We're going to make it hideous for a minute. And you may be wondering, well, why would you want to make it hideous? Well, syntax error on set border. Oh, that's just the spacing of it. You know what? We don't need a set border in this class. So we're going to delete that. We do need a layout, however. Syntax error on set layout. Oh, okay. Okay, just save that for a moment. In order for these, let me Control Z. In order for these lines to work, we have to put them inside a constructor, which I forgot to make. So we're just going to hurry and do public score panel. And if you remember, a constructor doesn't have any arguments and it doesn't return anything. Well, it can have arguments. This one just doesn't. And we're going to go Control X, and we're going to put the curly brace down here, Control V. Okay, now to get our formatting the way it's supposed to be, we're going to go to Source and Format, which is Control Shift S, and now, or F, excuse me, gives it the nice formatting that we want. And then if we go back to Game Panel and save, and we go and right-click on Memory Game App and choose Run as Java Application, you should be able to see, and you don't see it. You should be able to see the score panel to the right of it, and we don't. So let's see if I can figure out why we don't see it. And let's try this line of code right here. Set visible. Whoops. True. And save. Okay, let's right click again. And it's not showing still. Gotta love it. Okay. I will go back to figure out why it's behaving this way. And then I'll also get the logic going on the score pane or score panel. And then oh, I know why it's not showing, because there's nothing in it. And the center is stretching out to take up all the space. So let's add something into it and it'll show. So let me pause. Well, let me go ahead and, yeah, pause the video for just a moment. Okay, there's 3 things we want to add to our score panel or score pane or whatever you want to call it. We want to add a J button, or no, first we're going to start with a J label. And we're going to call it, we're going to call it label. What the heck? Be kind of boring here. Equals new J label. And you can go ahead and set that text right here. You could wait and set it, actually let's do that. We're going to go ahead and declare it here and initialize it inside the constructor. And so we're going to say down here, label equals new J label. And we're going to call it, number of matches with a colon and a space. That's what we're going to display with that. And then we're going to do a second label, and we're going to J label, and we're going to call it score. Yep. Actually, let's just say number. And the number that it refers to is the score. So number equals new J label, and the initial value that we want on that, we're actually going to do a getter. And in order to get the score from the other class, we have to create an instance of that other class here. And so we need to get grid panel, we need to get it here. And so let's come down here. And we're going to say, whoops, come back here. Equals new grid pane. Or grid panel, whatever I'm trying to say there. All right. And we're going to say the new score is, we're going to just do a space there. And we're going to say grid pane dot get score. And that should allow us to display the score. So let me just go to JLabel, and we want to import it. And let me hover over it and it'll say import. Okay, perfect. And then all we have to do is add our J button for the play again. Okay, and so we'll come down here and we'll say play again equals new J button, and the text we want on that is play again, and then we have to add them to the score panel so that they'll actually show up. So add label, add number, and add play again. Okay, now that we've got those 3 items, oh, play again is, oh, it wants me to import the J button. Let me do that first. Okay, that takes care of the errors. And now let's go ahead and right click and run. And we should, now we do, we have something appearing. Now it's going in columns instead of rows. And so that's a very easy fix. So we're going to go back to the game panel. And where the numbers are now, or no, it's not the game panel, excuse me. Where the numbers are now, we're switching them out. This is going to be a 4, and this is going to be a 0. And now we'll right click and run, and it should show up where we want it to the side. And it's still being goofy. Okay, so let me hover over it. Okay, we're trying to set the rows to 4 and the columns to 0, but that's not really working out for us. So let's try this. Let's try 0, and it's not going to like it. Do not keep it at 0. And then we're going to do a 1. Okay? So save that and run. Ah, okay. I changed the grid for the wrong thing. That's the problem. And I just barely noticed that because I'm kind of goofy. Okay. That should still be 4. Let me change the proper grid. Oh, I didn't want to change the grid pane. Silly Karen. I want to change the score pane. That's why this is doing weird stuff. So we do want the 4 in the first position. So save it and run it. There it is. Okay, this is ugly and it looks screwed up. And the reason it does this is because when you use the grid, it sizes every component evenly. And we told it had 4 components, and you can see that each one, the button is stretching out to fill that whole space, which looks really goofy. And so in the next video, we'll tweak that and work around with the appearance, and we'll get rid of the ugly yellow color and we'll recolor and style the button. But this is just showing you what it can do. And as I try to play, you can see here now nothing is happening. So something broke, and that's okay because it can be fixed. So I will go ahead and stop the video here, figure out what I broke, fix it, and come back. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video, which will be part 11, and it could be a few days before I get back because I've got some experimentation to do to see what I broke. So, and some tinkering. But that's kind of part of programming, is sometimes you'll fix one thing and break another. It's kind of part of the deal. Until you're really experienced and you know just what you're doing, yeah, you're gonna make mistakes. Don't worry about it. Everything has a solution. Sometimes there's multiple solutions. You can fix it. And if you need to, take a break for a few days and come back to it. And, you know, if you're frustrated, go ahead. Just stop, come back. A lot of times, ideas will come to me when I first wake up in the morning, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's how I fix it. Or that's what I was doing wrong. And so that's just kind of what happens with programming. You make mistakes. You try something new. Don't worry if you don't get it your first try, because oftentimes you won't. You know, it's just a matter of, until you get experience and practice, things are going to break sometimes. So if I need to make the game work again, I just get rid of the score panel altogether, and that's fine. And it'll still work, and nobody will even know that it was going to be there in the first place. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have fun with it, and hopefully I'll see you for part 11 when I actually get the logic working. Thanks for watching.